Welcome back. Many of us depend heavily on our cars, and it's important to know how to care for them. Here to answer our questions and offer us some helpful hints is Cliff Hudson, and we're talking tires today, Cliff.
Today's conversation, Dave, is going to be tiring.
And that came off of your car.
just so we get to say this.
Yes.
This is the tire. This is the wheel. So many times people come in and say, hey, I got a question about my wheels. I walk out, and of course they point to the tire. So anyway, hey, it's one of those things laymen don't know. So
yeah.
I brought that just for example. But yeah, you know, we've got a lot of change in what's happening. Apparently, tire manufacturers have changed how they construct tires, or at least what they put in tires, because we have a lot of issue with dry rot today. People come in, tires 3 or 4 years old, dry rotted so badly, we have to recommend they come off the car.
When you say dry rot, I'm thinking something that's been sitting around for 20, 25
exactly.
years.
These tires are in daily use. People
really?
caring for the car, washing them, you know, taking care of the car like you normally would.
How does it happen?
Well, apparently, no one will admit as to how or if the tire manufacturing has changed. We got some pictures I hope come up on the screen here. There you go.
Yeah, wow, that's dry rot.
Yeah, it looks like, kind of like a Miami road map. That's bad. Another picture is going to follow it. And there's another, that's basically the same tire, different view, big.
Now, give me an estimate. How old do you think these tires are?
Well, we're going to get to how you can evaluate that, because actually, and we'll talk about that in just a minute in the segment, every tire has a date code stamped on it. You can look at the tire and tell.
That's easy enough.
And we're jumping ahead of ourselves here, but you can look at the tire and tell how old it is by virtue of manufacturer date. And you can look and tell if you're buying a brand new tire that's already way too old to purchase. So may have sat on someone's shelf 4 or 5 years before you own it.
Now that's a problem right there, a flat tire. But the dry rot itself, now, is there a way to fix that, Cliff, or do you have to get all new tires?
There is no fix for it. You have to replace the tires, and at some point in time you have to assess whether or not the dry rot's bad enough. You know, there's some very, very minute stress cracks that can be acceptable.
Yeah.
And it's always an opinion call. You know, there's no gauge or no scientific way by which we can say, okay, this tire's got to come off. We've got a couple more pictures.
Yeah, but if you do have that dry rot, is there a lot more likelihood that your tire's going to blow out?
Obviously, the worse the dry rot gets, the closer to a blowout you get. That's the reason that, you know, the feds say, hey, when they start dry rotting, they need to come off the car. Okay. You know, the first thing you look for is the sidewall. Is it dry rot on the sidewall? Then you got to look in the tread. I don't know if our picture is going to come up here or not, but there we go. Yep. If you look down that little valley, that's the tread right there. That little nub.
Not much on that tire.
Exactly. Now, see,
barely anything on that one.
But see, it's starting.
Yeah.
See, you've got to warn the customer, because see, the customer is not going to look in the tread.
Right.
You can walk up and see your sidewall. Now let's go to the shot right quick of the date code, just so you see. See right there? See that 2403? What that tells us is that tire was made the 24th week of 2003. Okay. So we know when that tire was produced, 24th week of 03. So if you're buying new tires and they're mounted correctly, usually when a tire is mounted correctly, the date code is facing outward. Now, that's not the case in every single type of tire, because we have some directional tires and some tires have to be mounted certain ways. Yeah. But usually the date code is facing you, and you can read it off the sidewall. So when you're buying tires, it's a good question to ask is, hey, when were these tires made? Okay. And if someone tells you, gee, I don't know, then you can say, well, show me the tire and I'll tell you when it was made. Because the date code is clearly visible. Are
there certain things that can help your tire by, like, armor-alling it or things like that?
You know, that's a big debate. Yeah. Some manufacturers say that hastens the dry rot. Some manufacturers say that has nothing to do with it.
But it makes it shiny.
It makes it shiny. But the key thing here is something has changed, because I drove up here today in a little sports car that I bought originally for my son. And
well, how about you? You want to take me for a spin later?
He didn't. He decided he didn't want it. But the two tires on it are 10 years old. And they're in fabulous condition.
10 years old?
10 years old. I can prove it by the date codes. Yeah. They're in fabulous condition, and I'm seeing 3- and 4-year-old tires need to be thrown away. So.
All right, Cliff, so somebody wants to come in, get their tires evaluated. How do we get a hold of you?
Hudson's Import, right across the street. Keep them pressured up, aligned, and rotated.
And you'll take care of all that for us. All right.
Good
Thanks,
seeing
Cliff.
You.
Good to see you, too.
Enjoyed it.
Always fun. You should have brought a bigger tire, though. Well, everybody loves to kick back and relax. Coming up next, we'll tell you about a place that can help you do just that. All the latest from Coconut Joe's Rooftop Deck is next.